Okay, hello, Aquarius is your 2019 love and relationship reading. These are your cards. This is a new format. I hope you like it. And 3 rows of 7. So each row represents 4 months. So you should see my little arrow here with a yellow circle. This first row is January through April. This is May through August. And in this last row, September through December. And so the beginning of your year starts here with this Two of Pentacles, and then it ends here with the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I want to focus on is your root card, and that happens to be a Page of Swords. Now, a Page of Swords is a card about defense, defending yourself. You see him holding the sword defensively. Sometimes the Page of Swords is about getting at the truth and cutting through petty arguments and disagreements. Okay, so that's going to be very important. The theme for your 2019 year of relationships, I think I wrote crawling back, because from looking at the cards, I just sort of got this sense of you dealing with people who are not taking you seriously in the relationship. Some people who are who are really trying to play you. And air signs are not the type of people who have air signs, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Air signs are really not the type of people you want to play games with, because they are very intellectual. And intellectual as in everything can be a chess game to someone with an air sign. Very intellectual. They focus on thinking and judging and perceiving. They've always got a strategy. And I'm a Libra, I can confirm this. So yeah, that Page of Swords is in the middle for a reason, because a lot of what's going on in your year is you defending yourself against people who are trying to manipulate you or play you. Now, this doesn't mean that all of your relationships or your main primary relationship is going to suck. I'm just saying that on different levels, in different situations, because not everyone's going to have the same experience, on different levels, this is going to be playing out here. A lot of push-pull, a lot of strategy, lots of mind games. Okay, and you can't really help it, Aquarius, because you think a lot. All air signs think a lot, especially in relationships. It takes a long time to gain trust, a long time to gain this feeling of security in a relationship. And for most air signs, if they don't feel it, if they don't feel 100% sure, they usually hesitate. So yeah, that Page of Swords tells me a lot. And you do have some swords, not a lot, but they're strategically in certain areas, like this Nine of Swords, the card of drama. It's next to the Empress, and it's between the Empress and the Queen of Cups, love and sex. Okay, lots of drama with the love and sex. And then here you have this Ten of Cups, and it's followed by a Ten of Swords, which is the card of betrayal, and then a Nine of Pentacles. So between these two positive, I've noticed that the swords, you only have really 3 swords in your entire spread, but they seem to be sandwiched between all of this strong romantic sex love energy. That Queen of Cups, who's about love, and the Empress, who's about sexuality and fertility, eros, the physical world. And then this Ten of Swords, it's sandwiched between the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is the good life. It's prosperity and happiness. So I keep thinking that, yes, some of you might be in relationships, but you seem to be having a lot of doubts and insecurities within the relationship. And sometimes your partners could be doing things that damage your trust, that don't make you feel that the relationship is as strong as it could be. And it doesn't mean you can't work those things out. But looking at the swords, it does tell me that you are trying to feel safe and secure in this relationship. And this person isn't exactly stepping up to dispel or get rid of your doubts. And that's one way of looking at it. And another thing, looking at my notes when I saw that Page of Swords, the first thing I thought of also was cleaning house. You know, like, let's stop the bullshit here. Okay, what are we playing at? Swords in this spread are important because I feel like they're reflecting your indecision and you trying to think about or trying to decide what's happening in this relationship, because I'm not sure I can trust this person. You also have some pentacles here, Two of Pentacles here, King of Pentacles here, Nine of Pentacles here, Eight of Pentacles, and then an Ace of Pentacles. So these are strong pentacles, and when I see the pentacles, they're important because I feel like they signify some of the issues in the relationship, the slow progress in the relationship. And one of the impressions I had was that the pentacles were about you and your love interest or partner trying to build trust, trying to have a solid foundation. Because pentacles represent earth, earth is a very slow energy. It's very solid and stable. Pentacles also represent responsibility and problem solving and trustworthiness. So I'm seeing the swords and the pentacles, and I'm seeing this, as I said, this back and forth in the relationship, trying to get to a relationship that you can trust and feel secure with. Okay. So the major arcana are very important. You don't have a lot. In this first row, the first 4 months, you do have the Empress. As I said, the Empress can represent a third party. Sometimes I read it that way based on the context of the cards, an ex-girlfriend or a partner. One of the reasons why that would even occur to me is because I see that Two of Pentacles. And in a relationship reading for me, Two of Pentacles, juggling two relationships, juggling two things. And so it can also mean someone's just undecided, because you see the boy with his back turned toward the water. He's just playing the field. He's just juggling the Two Pentacles. He's not willing to drop a pentacle. He's not willing to focus on just one thing. So at the very least, the Two of Pentacles give me this impression of distraction and not really being focused on the relationship. Oh, and I forgot that Seven of Pentacles as well. This is the card of waiting. And so then you have that King of Pentacles here. So one of the things that the Pentacles revealed to me is that some of you Aquarians, some of you might be in casual relationships where the person you're emotionally connected to, they're playing the field. They're not really focused. They're keeping you waiting on a relationship. And so this is important here, surrounding the Empress, because she's the goddess of the physical world. Pentacles are part of her energy. Okay. So this sexuality that's coming from the Empress, I'm getting someone who has a lot of, who's very seductive, that you're pulled to, but they kind of use sex, you know, they're like, they don't mind hooking up. They don't mind having very casual relationships that don't mean a lot. So as I said, that might be playing out in different ways. But I am looking at this Empress surrounded by all these pentacles in the first 4 months of your year. And this issue of swords between love and sex. I'm getting the feeling that some of you Aquarians are still trying to guard your feelings until this person shows you that they're really going to be committed to you. Okay. And then here, the second row, you have these two major arcana, Justice versus the Fool. And the very first thing I felt there was someone making a decision, do you love me or not? If not, I'm gone. And interestingly enough, that's followed by more water, this King of Cups. So I'm starting to piece together the energy of this other person through the cups, where emotionally they get your hopes up. The King of Cups is the outward display of love, but the King of Cups is also managing his emotions. He doesn't let his emotions get out of control. So the Queen and the King of Cups showing up in the first half of your year, I'm thinking, what is this about? Because then you have that Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups can represent marriage and a solid relationship. So when I see this Justice card and the Fool, and then it's followed by a King of Cups, I'm getting the feeling that this person, it might mean that this person is going to take a break. Justice is usually the card of fairness and balance and doing the right thing. Sometimes it can mean actually a legal decision. So it's not unheard of that some of you might be dealing with a divorce, a separation. This Ten of Cups usually means marriage. So sometimes when I do see Justice with the Ten of Cups, I'm like, okay, are there issues in the marriage? Is there a separation or divorce happening? Could be, especially with this King of Cups showing up again. So yes, Justice followed by the Fool is, I felt like, okay, you are free. I've made a decision. I'm going to go my own way. And I feel that applies more to you than the other person. So you take a break. Maybe you step back from this person and they're thinking, well, I don't want you to go. So I'm seeing that King of Cups here. And then I'm seeing a Ten of Cups, but then it's followed by a Ten of Swords. So you and this person, you still don't trust this person. They still want to be with you. They might still be interested. But you kind of feel, I'm not ready yet. Okay. When we get to the last row, you have two major arcana here. And these are very intense cards because you do have death. And of course, death means closure. And then the Emperor, and the Emperor gets everybody together. Whatever the Emperor says goes. He's the ruler. And he's the ruler of all the kings. The kings are, you know, all of the kings in the tarot deck, they are under the Emperor. So when you get the Emperor, a major arcana card, the Emperor puts his foot down. He gets everything in order. But the Emperor is also, just like the Empress, associated with pentacles. And the Emperor, once again, is responsible. The Emperor is a leader. Sometimes the Emperor is seen as a husband, a figurative husband. And so when it's followed by that Ace of Pentacles, I get a sense of starting over. But it can also mean the beginning of a relationship, not necessarily a full-blown long-term. But when I see that Ace of Pentacles next to the Emperor following death, I'm getting a sense of death is cleaning house once and for all of all the issues. And once again, here's the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups takes action. So when I saw this Knight of Cups approach the Emperor, and then after the Emperor, an Ace of Pentacles, I'm like, I get the feeling that this person near the end of the year might come to you crawling back to have a relationship. But I feel the Emperor surrounding you, Aquarius, where you say, sorry, I'm gonna just start over, I'm done with you. That's one way that could play out. Not necessarily full on, I don't want to have anything to do with you. But it feels as if you need this person. You know what? If we're going to continue, if we're really going to start having a relationship, I need to trust you. So it could be that this person who is playing the field, because you do have that Two of Pentacles, note how you get after death in the Emperor, then you come to that Ace of Pentacles. Okay, singular focus. One of the pentacles has been dropped. And so for some of you, this could actually mean the beginning of a relationship. Someone is ready to settle down and commit. But as I said, I do get this sense of someone crawling back, or someone who's always taken you for granted. And then suddenly they realize they don't want to lose you. So just reviewing the first row, my notes from the beginning is you're worried because someone keeps playing the field. So as we come here from this Two of Pentacles, you have this Nine of Swords, the card of drama, energy vampires between love, the Queen of Cups, and then the Empress, the sexual energy, and then being kept waiting, things being put on hold. And then things being put on hold because now you have this Ace of Wands followed by a King of Pentacles. Now the Ace of Wands, it's a card of rebirth and creativity. And so I get the feeling that this person might have taken a new direction here. You have a King of Pentacles who is under the Emperor. The King of Pentacles is a lower echo of the Emperor. So it feels as if someone's playing the field. The relationship is put on hold, no commitment, but then you have this fire energy, the Ace of Wands, and then it feels as if there's some stability, like let's just keep dating, let's just keep seeing each other, but there's no full-on romance yet. So this is when things get interesting. As I said, I feel like the Cups are a person of interest here with this King of Cups. Someone who does have an emotional attachment, but they're sort of like keeping their emotions, they're holding back on their emotions with you. And I don't think you appreciate that. I don't think you appreciate someone who feels like, okay, I'm going to hold back. I know this person, I know this Aquarius person is attracted to me, but I'm just going to hold back. So I get the feeling that for some of you, you're connected to someone who is very, you're connected to someone who is very guarded with their emotions. They're more comfortable with the Pentacles energy, the physical dating, the sex, but emotionally committing is somewhat difficult for them. So that King of Cups versus the Ten of Cups, it feels as if they are trying to, it feels like they are trying to build a foundation with you. Do you love me or not? Nine of Pentacles are good, the card of good times. And as I said, when I see a Ten of Cups, sometimes I think, oh, is this about someone being married? Is this about a long-term commitment? And so, once again, that 10, the 10 of Cups is next to a 10 of Swords, still lots of doubts and insecurities. And all of that is taking place with a 9 of Pentacles. So you've got some 9s and some 10s here. You're coming to the end of a cycle. You're headed for another shift, especially with those aces showing up. Do you love me or not? But it feels as if the emotional commitment, this 10 of Swords is still balanced with the emotional. And this is about all the love and commitment that you want. But it feels as if the relationship is still clinging to that physical, sexual energy. So as we head to the last row here heading to the end of the year, more water, an Eight of Cups, someone emotionally walking away. And then once again, that sword sandwich. Two of Swords between an Eight of Cups and an Eight of Pentacles. Right before death. Choosing. Okay, what decision am I going to make? This person can't commit. Emotionally, they're walking away. They need their space. And then you have on the other side Eight of Pentacles, which is about making progress, getting to work. And I feel like these first three cards leading up to death are about you, like, okay, whatever. If you want to take a break, if you want to leave, whatever, I'm going to focus on other things. So once again, this Pentacles energy is giving me a sense of the evolution of the relationship throughout the year. The waiting game, the juggling, the casual dating. You know, you might be with someone in the physical world, but you might date a lot, have vacations, go out and party, but there's still not that consistent emotional connection throughout the relationship. So when I see this Knight of Cups approaching the Emperor, Aquarians, it feels as if you put your foot down and you're like, okay, enough. What is it that you want from me? And so, as I said, that little confrontation, you end the year on the Ace of Pentacles, which can mean new opportunities and new beginning. And some of you Aquarians just might decide, you know, I'm just going to go out and date other people. I'm done with you. But it can also mean someone who approaches you and say, let's start over, let's start dating, let's see what happens, and give this relationship a shot. Okay? Now, this might play out on different time frames, but I feel like when you come to the end of the year versus the beginning, you might actually have the beginning of a long-term relationship that you feel secure in and a partner that you can finally trust. Okay, so that was your reading. And I want to thank all of my subscribers, all of you who've been getting readings from me. Just a minor note, $10 for my relationship energy readings until the end of January. And I want to do that because I know Valentine's Day is coming up in the new year, and I know a lot of you have questions about what's going to be going on. So if you go to tarotbyaire.com, you'll see a booking button to book an appointment. So check it out. If you've never had a reading from me and you've been following my YouTube channel, 2019 just might be the year that you get a reading from me. Okay? So I hope you've been having a wonderful holiday season. And thank you so much for your support. January readings are coming up this weekend, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you in 2019. And as always, I wish you love and light.